Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke and today we're going to be reviewing a spoiler review of Superman 2025. Look, I had extremely high hopes for this movie, pun intended, and I think it delivered. So I'm just going to review what happened. I think there were some parts that were phenomenal and a massive breath of fresh air. And then I think there are some parts where I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. But no parts were bad. Some were okay, but no parts are bad. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let me fix my headphones. Here's the deal. We start off at the very beginning with the text about 3,000 years, metahumans, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, James Gunn, for this. The moment I saw that, I was like, thank God. Okay. We're not doing the same thing that we always do with this sort of thing. Thank you, James Gunn. Appreciate it. And we jump into that scene where Superman just laid out in the snow. The Yamcha pose is hilarious. And if you guys don't know, Google Yamcha pose. It's an anime character who was unalived unceremoniously in a pretty hilarious fashion. As a kid, it scared me, but now it's pretty funny. But going back to Superman, I think the next few scenes are pretty cool. He gets dragged, he goes and fights. You see Lex Luthor is like deep in the weeds already of being Lex Luthor. It kind of reminds me, if you've ever seen or played Spider-Man on the PS4, the first mission you go on, you jump into fighting the Kingpin. Similar vibe, actually. Really super similar vibe. But, Superman loses for the first time. They tell you up front, he's about to lose. And now, what's interesting is he doesn't struggle throughout the rest of the movie. He doesn't struggle with losing. He's not mad about it. He's like disappointed. But it doesn't keep him from being Superman. Like, he continues to be Superman. So it's interesting that he doesn't have that kind of pride that everybody else has. We then, after he loses, gets to hang out with Lois Lane a little bit. They have their little beef at the office, which isn't really real. You find out they've been dating for a little while and she already knows. They do the interview scene. They've got good charisma. We've all seen this kind of stuff. But then it kind of gets weird. It starts to get weird in the movie. And by the way, the pace for this movie is bang, 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 except for a handful of parts that are just like, okay, we're doing this. This is the joke we're doing. Okay. We're going to do it. But from then on, it's just Superman. Like, you don't get Clark Kent much anymore. There's a moment at the Kent farm, you get Clark Kent. But he doesn't even take himself there. Lois takes him there. And she's never met them. So, he is either super, super protective of them or more wants to represent his father, his family, and the Superman thing. So what I've come to realize in this movie, and I've given a few days to think, is he's raised by the kids. And the moment that he finds the information in the pod for his birth parents, and he thinks that they've sent him there to be the savior, he's then totally Superman and so much less Clark Kent. Kind of reminiscent to The Batman with Robert Pattinson, where you really just have a Batman movie that happens to also have Bruce Wayne in it. This is really similar vibe. But it's really cool to see Lois meet the Kents for the first time. It's cool for him to have that conversation about, hey, you are your choices. There's no such thing as this lineage thing. You're your choices. That's what you are. And so make the right ones, or make the best ones you can. It's very thoughtful. I like something that I've tried to live by myself, is that you've got to trust that everyone that you deal with at any given time is making the best possible decision they can possibly make in any given moment. There's a lot of factors that play into that, but including emotion, sleep deprivation, caffeine, food, hydration, exercise. But you have to think that they're making what they think is the best possible, even if it's them not listening to you, which sucks sometimes. But moving forward, we still get Superman. He's had his first loss. He's continuing to try to be Superman. There's some mistrust happening. Lex Luthor breaks into the Fortress of Solitude. We can't really figure out why until later, or how he can do it. He more or less destroys it. He steals the message from the parents, which said, go to Earth and be great. And he finishes the message using the engineer, who is this really badass villain that he created, that's got nanobites and can like mold and manipulate her body. And you find out he releases the message to the world that Superman isn't your idol. Superman is gonna take us over. And so distrust happens. Lex Luthor is full Lex Luthor at this moment. It's kind of awesome, actually. I mean, for being evil, it's kind of awesome. It would be as if an artist, a musical artist, were to come out and play for years and years and years and years, and then, you know, AI comes out and is producing better music at a better rate than anything that they do. All of this is really cool. This is like maybe the first 45 minutes of the movie, 45 minutes of the movie. It's really cool. Like, no notes. Good graphics, good everything. This is where we get into kind of the weird stuff. Because the humans lacking faith in Superman is a great... I mean, okay, we get it. It's fine. He's going to make it up to them somehow. He's built for it. He's Superman. And Lex Luthor doing his thing is pretty good. The middle act of this movie is a little bit weird. You've got Lex Luthor finally defeating Superman, he's stolen the dog. You got Superman turning himself in. He gets imprisoned in Lex Luthor's secret dimension thing. He's being held down by this other DC character. I can't remember off the top of my head, but who's basically the kryptonite, you know? And there's zero chance Lex Luthor's gonna let that guy betray him, but he does. And Superman saves them, and they almost get sucked into a black hole, and it's like, this is so comic booky, but kind of weird. It's weird. It's fun. It's weird, you know? But Superman saves everybody, and he uses his ice breath, and he saves everyone, and he gets back to Earth. And at some point, he fights a kaiju before that, which is kind of awesome. At some point, he and Lois kind of break up there at the beginning, and then they have a little conversation when there's a massive alien spectral thing, and the Justice group is fighting them. And then you've got, okay, Guy Gardner. I actually like Nathan Fillion in this role. I don't like Nathan Fillion personally. He's not my guy. He just isn't. I think he's just trying really hard to be a funnier Harrison Ford, and he fails at it. And I felt like that for years and years and years. But in this movie, in this role, he's pretty good. We really like him. He's pretty good. I hate that we didn't get a ton of Hawk Girl. We got a ton of Mr. Terrific. Love Mr. Terrific's role in this. Actually, I was like, oh, this is perfect. He's perfect. I thank God Mr. Terrific's here. He can actually lead the Justice League. Mr. Terrific. Like, you have this character who's Lex Luthor brilliant, who can lead the Justice League. Very cool. But you have Lex Luthor having enhanced people, and Superman you got an Ultraman who you find out later is let's get toward the end. So Lex Luthor, Superman gets out, he's safe, he's at the Kenston. Lex Luthor puts him into a position of no success. Pretty standard Lex Luthor move. He either has to go back and save those group of people that are in that other country, or he has to stop whatever's happening in Metropolis, which is basically the world coming to an end from this black hole that Lex Luthor has created. Not sure. During the movie, I was like, all right, how are we going to go about doing this? And it's in the trailer. You can see the city dividing. But then Superman doesn't go. He contacts the Justice League or Justice Group and has them go to the country and help those people. And Superman goes from the kids to stop Lex Luthor, which I thought was a little bit weird. Typically, he's the one splitting time. I'm glad they did it this way, though. Like, it's okay for Superman to trust other people. It's okay. It's okay. We like that. Sort of. But I mean, I like it a lot. It's just new. Then we get Superman fighting Ultraman. Oh, there's a fight between Superman, Ultraman, and the Engineer, and the Engineer's like trying to suffocate him, and she almost succeeds, and then he unalives her. Well, she doesn't live. Well, I think she doesn't live. But then you find out Ultraman is a clone of Superman, and it's like, oh, that's how they got into the Fortress of Solitude. Okay, now we can see where they're gonna go in the future. Like, there can be a Superboy. Right? Because Lex Luthor even says, he's just like you, he's just dumber than whatever, dumber than hell, whatever he says. And so that means that we can now create a Superman Lex Luthor hybrid who's actually smart, but has some of the powers of Superman. Teen Titans, Young Justice. So Superman wins. He defeats Ultraman. And he defeats Lex Luthor, and the world is saved, and everything's come back to normal, and this evil dictator's taken care of, which was an interesting side plot. I don't quite understand what Lex Luthor's motivation was for that specific piece of land. He's already like a billionaire. Like, he could just buy it. Actually, he already probably has bigger net worth than this dude. It just didn't make much sense. Like I think Saudi Arabia, right? Like, there's super wealthy people who own that place. So anyway, I thought it was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. I was like, oh, what's the motivation here? Why do you want to be the king of your own land? Like, you're already that guy. Regardless, I thought his motivations were clean and clear. Lex Luthor's motivations for me have not always been like that. I've never really kind of understood his hatred for Superman, other than he was just kind of jealous. And it seemed like a lot of effort for just a little bit of jealousy. But in this movie specifically, they do a pretty good job of showing that, like I said, if you're an artist and then AI shows up and is writing better music than you can, of course you're going to hate AI. This is the thing you built yourself on, is being this person. And then something comes along that just makes you inferior for the first time in your life. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. So we finished with Superman winning. He has this whole Boy Scout thing that he says on the bridge of Lex Luthor's little ship, which is really cool. It really was inspiring to me. I think that's right. Superman and Lois kind of make up a little bit, which is good. It's really nice. Got to talk about Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen's role, hilarious. Everything about him being a heartthrob is pretty funny. Teen heartthrob Jimmy Olsen, who's in his 20s. He's not like conventionally handsome, but he's just like, the girls love him. That's hilarious to me. But on top of that, I think it's a really solid movie. There's a few slow parts, like the door opening, the garage door opening. She's like talking to Mr. Terrific, Lois Lane, and she's like, you're the smartest person in the world, and you have a future spaceship in here, and this door opens this fast. And he's like, there's a few things like that happen where I was just like, oh man, this is a drastic change in pace for a joke that's not that funny. There's other ways to accomplish this goal. I'm not the one to give you the answer, but there's other ways. So all in all, look, and I've gone far too long. We're close to 15 minutes. All in all, it's good. It's a good movie. It's fun. It's as good as any Superman movie I've seen. I like Man of Steel a lot, but Man of Steel's a different message. It's just different. Man of Steel, and frankly, most superhero movies are about dudes or women with mommy or daddy issues. What I liked about this Superman movie is it's not that. He does have familial daddy and mommy issues, but those issues stem from his true good. That the fact that he's truly good, and he has the capacity to love everyone. And that's actually probably my favorite line in the movie, is when Lois Lane confronts Superman and she's like, you actually love everyone. And what's interesting in that is that he has the power and the capacity to, because he can see through everyone. He can see everything, right? So if he can do that, then of course he loves everyone. He can see to the core of everything. And I like that a lot. But yeah, I think we'll have Lex Luthor back in the future. It was weird not seeing a Bruce Wayne, a Wayne thing. It was kind of strange. James Gunn talked about how he doesn't know how he's going to fit Bruce Wayne in here. I was looking at those soldiers and I was thinking, are you kidding me? A Bruce Wayne who's a billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, or whatever that they say in Iron Man. A Bruce Wayne who has all of this technology and all of this, and it's just for him. Like, this was epic and interdimensional and whatever. We could have a Bruce Wayne that's just a brilliant dude who is dark and brooding and not to be trifled with. But on the surface, when he's not Batman, he could be goofy and fun, debonair, and hit on Lois. I mean, I think that would be hilarious. Hey, hire me, I'll hit on her. Anyway, all in all, the movie's really good. It's worth seeing in the theater. I saw it in IMAX. It's worth seeing. And I think what's important is to know that Supergirl's in it. Also, I like dogs. Love dogs. A little too much crypto. Just a little. Maybe could have done without. And it does make sense that he goes into Luthor's office. He's like, "Where's the dog? Where's the dog?" And it's not his dog, which I didn't even know. It feels kind of dumb, but I didn't even know. It's his cousin's dog, who shows up at the end, who's gonna have a movie coming out soon, like next year sometime, I think. And the story with her is pretty funny. She goes to go to planets with red suns so that she could party. Kind of fun. Love that. Can't wait to see that movie, actually. I think that's going to be a great take on a character so similar to Superman, but so different. So that's about it. The post-credit scenes, I was kind of hoping, because you can tell that like when they brought Metropolis back together, that there was like a shift. I was kind of hoping that one side would then become like Gotham and the other side would be Metropolis, or that, and I did do that, and I didn't like that in another movie, but it would be cool in this one, I think, if they did it right. And or if they did a Superman who was if they did something like, oh, from here forward this world is completely different, right? It's just, this is the catalyst for a completely different world. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. Every other Justice League character I think could fit in this movie, or in this universe. And I like this Superman. I like this Lois, and I like this Lex Luthor. It's really just a story of those three, which is interesting, and I like it. So, hey, ask me about what you think of the movie. Throw it in the comments below. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll be happy to talk to you a little bit more about it. But yeah. I'd love to jump on a call and really dive deep. When it comes out, we'll probably do, depending on how Warner Brothers does things, we'll probably do a watch along here on the channel. And so, because I'd really like to communicate with people on how this goes. But until next time, and hopefully there'll be a next time, later, taters.